I just did a workout. It was a lot for me, even though I'm used to working out. Usually I've been on the exercise bike and that's been no problem, but to do like cardio while pregnant, it was tough. You may be wondering, why are pregnant women so obsessed with showing their pregnancy or being pregnant? It's like all they think about. Your whole body changes. Your whole day, all you could think about is the fact that you are not your normal self. So yeah, we're going to talk a lot about it because it's every single part of our day. So that's who we are when we're pregnant. We're pregnant. We're carrying a child. I wanted to give updates on my pregnancy in case you are interested. I'm either 26 or 27 weeks because I measure a week ahead. I'm still napping once in a while, but they're like really, really short naps, or I did like one longer one. I feel like compared to my first two pregnancies when I was in my early to mid 20s, it's so much different than being in my late 30s. So it's been definitely unique. Each pregnancy, even though they're all boys, have been very different. I feel really good, but I have a lot of pelvic pain when I walk. My legs have been swelling up, my feet, my ankles, they keep swelling and it's noticeable. Yeah, they've been hurting and I try to keep my feet up as much as I can, but I'm not used to sitting for long periods of time. I don't like to sit. So it's been really difficult. Right now my legs are okay. They don't look too bad. The pelvic pain that I get with the swollen legs, and I've got that little bit of a waddle walk. So I don't like to have that. Definitely, I have grown in other areas because usually I'm much smaller, but that's what I had with all my pregnancies. So I've been like, whatever, that's gonna go away. It's just a part of life. If you're pregnant, I just want to state, maybe this is your first pregnancy, maybe it's your fifth, sixth, I don't know. Every single one is very different from the other. And a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, if you're doing this, you must be carrying a boy. If you're doing this, you must be carrying a girl. I've had people guess different genders for each of my babies, and they all said something different, and all of my babies were in a different place. I feel like my bellies have been different for each single one. Pregnancy is not easy. I've never really enjoyed pregnancy. I want to get through it. I want to hold the baby. I don't like the waiting game at all. At all. And I know so many people are like, oh, I enjoyed the whole process of it. I loved carrying my baby. It felt so wonderful. The only thing that I find to be wonderful about pregnancy is feeling the kicks, feeling the movement of the baby. I've always loved that. That's like pretty much it. Everything else I'm like in pain. And you know, early on you get the nausea, the throwing up. This pregnancy, I didn't get any nausea at all. It's the first time I didn't have any nausea, but I did throw up 3 times, and it was for like the weirdest reason. My first pregnancy, I threw up for months and months and months. Almost the entire pregnancy, every day I threw up. I'd say starting from maybe 5 or 6 weeks up through like 33 weeks. With the second pregnancy, I threw up 7 times. Yes, I counted. With my first pregnancy, I had to go into the hospital. I was in preterm labor. They think I had a kidney stone. No one really knows. We're not really sure. They think I passed it at the hospital, but that was not a fun experience. It was really a horrible experience. And my husband got out of work to come to me, and he was all a mess thinking I was gonna die. And I was 25 weeks pregnant with my first when that happened. For both my first pregnancy and this pregnancy, I have worked. The second one, I was the most relaxed. I was able to do a lot. Even though I had a toddler with me, I feel like it was so much more relaxing, but I was so worn out all the time because I had a toddler. With my first 2 pregnancies, I had major aversions to some of the same exact foods. This time around, I feel like the only thing this pregnancy that I've felt an aversion to has been the smell of onions, but I cook with onions all the time, so I just deal with it and I don't get nausea or anything. It's just kind of like every once in a while it just feels weird, like it just smells bad. But usually I'm like, oh, that smells great. but it's a different type of onion smell than I'm normally used to smelling. While with my first two, I had aversions to the smell of olives, to the smell of teriyaki chicken. It's just so crazy how I would smell certain foods and go, ugh. When it comes to cravings, my first two pregnancies, I had no cravings. I was so sad. I was like, I want cravings. This one, I only had cravings for waffles, which I eat all the time. So I guess waffles, maple syrup, I don't know. But I think that's my only craving, if that is a craving. I always wanted to have that pickle craving, never got that. I think when it comes to my 3 pregnancies, my first one I gained the most weight. I ate cookies and brownies all the time. My second pregnancy, I think I only gained 30 pounds with him. I gained 60 with the first. I think so far I've gained about 20 pounds for this pregnancy, but this is the only pregnancy that I've worked out with. Which is weird that I feel like I'm bigger than my second pregnancy when I work out. This is the only pregnancy where I feel during my sleep, my legs have been killing me. I've put magnesium on them. It doesn't really do anything. I've tried so many things. It relieves it a little bit to have magnesium. But yeah, I never had that pain while sleeping. And I don't know if it's just because I'm older, but I definitely had the swollen legs for the first one and this one. Feeling the baby. I think for the first baby, I felt him at 16 weeks. The second baby, I believe it was the same. And this one was 13 weeks. I promise. I felt weird movement and I would tell my husband, I'm like, I feel something, like it's a strange thing. And I don't know if it was a flutter or something else, but I've never felt something that early on. It was just very different. And with the kicking, I felt the kicking early on too. But I'm healthy. And you know what I really appreciate? I appreciate that, like, a lot of women I know that are pregnant in their 30s, they're told that they are high risk, that they have all these issues that they have to watch out for. I haven't had any of that. My doctors have been like, you're healthy. Your blood works great. You keep in shape. They've not said anything about my age at all. They haven't been concerned. I feel like they treat me just as they did when I was in my 20s. It's finally, I'm getting close to 30 weeks and I'm gonna be like, oh, 30 weeks? Okay, then we're really close. I will not go to 40 weeks. I'm telling you that. I went to 41 weeks with my first, 39 weeks with my second, and I will definitely not go to 40 weeks for this one because I had to get induced for all of my babies. I literally don't dilate until 30 minutes before I give birth. It's just how my body functions. My mom was the same way. This is something I've been waiting for to happen, remember, for 14 years. So it's a long time. So of course it's going to be exciting for me. It's something I've really been wanting. Here's another thing about pregnancy. I'm just starting to get emotional. I was starting to like tear up there. My emotions are crazy. I cry like so easily lately. It's really bad. I'm like, no, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. All of my pregnancies, I was really, really, really tired. That's how I found out that I was pregnant. For each single one of them, I got exhausted in the very beginning. That was the first sign. So at like 4 weeks pregnant, I was exhausted. I was falling asleep way too early. And I'm like, why am I so tired? But for this one, I feel like I had a nap a lot more than all of them. I have that energy jolt, you know? And with nesting, people have already asked me if I'm nesting. It's like, I think I'm always nesting all the time anyway. I like to clean. The fact that I've been clearing stuff out, first off, when I don't have a lot to clear out, but I have been clearing stuff out, and now I've got to make room for all this baby stuff. And I'm like, here we go. Babies, they need things, guys. So I'll do another video soon of what I believe are essentials for a minimalist that has a baby, like things that I really needed, things that worked out for my first two that I really wanted to get again. There are definitely some things that I'm just like, I don't need much of that at all. That's my pregnancy right now. Thanks for watching.